So it's Ringside Barbershop here with our first episode of Shop Talk, where Shop Talk is everything, and where we talk about everything from movies, sports, whatever it matters. Doesn't matter, we talk about it. I am here with Antwon Burton.
What's up, my friend?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm loving life.
You wanna give these people a little taste of who you are and what you've done? Just a little bit.
So I did play tennis. No, I'm just joking.
Okay.
Professional football.
Oh, okay.
I played 6 years with the, no, it's actually not 6 years with the Broncos. I played 3 years with the Broncos, but most notably in Pueblo, Colorado. I do consider myself somewhat of an entrepreneur. I started Next Level Performance on Eagle Ridge, and now I'm the executive director at the PBR SBC. So I'm involved with Western sports, Western sport performance, and bull riding.
Man, that's a lot. That's a mouthful. Yeah, I feel very special. Antwon has been with me since, pretty much the beginning, man. I met you, back in
I'm going to say like 09.
Like right out the gate? Like almost when you got here?
Yeah, I only went to one barber. And I'm not going to say his name, but he messed my beard up.
I remember the story. You know what? I'm sorry to cut you off, but I remember the story through other barbers, like a myth, like a when something happens at a barbershop and another barbershop hears about it and you're like, oh no, that way that happened. So I'll go ahead, you tell it.
But the thing is, it's like I was definitely noticeably mad. I was pissed, but I didn't like threaten anybody. I didn't. But this is at a time where, I'm still playing in the league. So it's like I'm around dudes my size all the time, and I don't realize, I'm in this place where everybody's kind of small a little bit. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I'm not paying for this, right?
Yeah.
And the guy, it looked like he was going to cry. I'm like, my hair's messed up, 100%. And I don't know. I know everybody likes their haircut, but I'm just going, if you didn't know, black people are very particular about their haircut, where their line is. You know this.
Yeah, I get that a lot. That's my favorite part about being a barber and a barbershop. I've been doing this 12 years, bro. I'm not the best, and there's some really gas barbers out there. Like, I give them that. But I know people don't know how long I've been cutting, and a little bit hurts when they come in and like, can you cut my hair?
No, like, we're very particular. It's once you cut our hair and you do well, you're a part of the family. And
you brought me mac and cheese. I feel I'm part of the. I feel like 100%, I made it.
100%. Like he's definitely a part of the family. And it's like he has almost say in my household. Like it goes my wife, my kids, and then my barber. Because if he's not around, your whole week's messed up. Because I don't know. I'll be honest with you. Like when my haircut is sharp and it's the way it's supposed to be, like you feel better.
It's everything.
You walk in a room different. Like very, very particular about that. So I guess you're pretty good there. And I was with you when you were. But wait, back to the story. The owner, the barber, they were like literally physically like shaking.
You're not a very small person. Obviously, a lot of people may not be able to see this. For the ladies and gentlemen out there that are not seeing this gentleman, you've seen like a double door fridge. This gentleman is that wide and that tall, that much taller than the fridge. So, when a man tells you he's not going to pay for his haircut or beard lineup, and I'm pretty sure I know who it is. And this gentleman is 150 pounds.
But he knew, like it wasn't the fact. Honestly, it had nothing to do about the money, because the owner came out and was like, we won't charge you. Yeah. It was everything. It didn't. The money didn't matter. I'd pay $100 to fix what's on my face right now.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't. And I haven't had my hair messed up in a long time. Mm. And
you were traveling, right? So you were going to different barbershops, different parts of the country.
And this is when I didn't live in Pueblo. I didn't live in Pueblo at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I was coming through with Tara, my wife, and trying to find a barber, and they were like, "Go here." And I'm like, "All right, bet." And it was a pretty bad experience. And then I don't know how I got to you, but when I got to him, he knew exactly who I was due to this story that permeated through other barbershops, like this big ass Denver Bronco player.
Yeah,
he messed his hair up.
It was so classic, because I'm like, there's no way this happened. This guy didn't threaten you, and I feel like people over exaggerate, because by the time it goes through 5 people, that story has been amped. No. It got to the point to where someone was like, I think the barber even had like a straight razor. Like he was worried that that he was gonna get him, you know. And I'm just like, oh my god.
Honestly, people who know me and who really truly know me, I would never even.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're as gentle as a butterfly, sir.
I haven't gotten to a physical altercation since I was like 15, 16. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I understandably,
but 100% I was pissed about my hair.
Yeah, I know you're about your hair, man. I know. I get the text messages.
I definitely, yeah.
You're like, I need it in today, in about 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm on my way. I'll be right there, bro.
Like I got a meeting at 10. I'm calling him at 9:45. Hey man, you think you can get me real quick?
He's like, my bad, short notice. I'm like, I'm already going, so I'll see you there.
Yeah, it's always short notice. I feel bad for that, but I don't. You know what I mean? Because I'm such a loyal customer. You got to admit that.
Yeah, that's why I just don't. So look, I have few customers, obviously, and there's those ones that they take care of you when you need to. You know, it's more so than I get whatever. But you make small exceptions. You make exceptions for people that take care. It's. I think that's a way in life. People help you. You help them. I'm not saying that people don't help them. It's just you wake up a little earlier for someone that's gonna help. That helps you a little bit too.
100%. I'm just. No, man, you're good. You're good at what you do. And I remember I was in your apartment. See, we talked about this the other day. He was cutting my hair in his apartment. Wait, it didn't start first. You were at All Sport.
I was at another place, yeah.
You were at another place, and I walked in, and I was kind of like, that's kind of, maybe everybody does this. Maybe it's black or not. I don't know.
Vibe.
Yeah. I got to look at every barber and then see how they're cutting their hair, because Pueblo's predominantly Mexican and white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. Italian, Mexican.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I'm looking around like, and then I seen Derek in his chair. I'm like, he's pretty nice. I like what he's doing. I'm like, all right, I'll see if he can give me a cut. And he cut my hair, and you did take a hiatus that pissed me off.
Yeah, that was my fault.
He went from cutting hair to cutting hair in his apartment to selling cars. And he sold cars for what, like a year?
Yeah, it was like 9 months to a year, something like that, yeah.
Kill yourself. I hated you for that.
Yeah, you and a couple other people were very upset. So what I try to do is I try to juggle this, cutting my close clients, ones that took care of me, and then also sell cars. So my it was too, I couldn't do it. Like it was like 72 hours trying to sell cars and then trying to juggle not only my schedule but your schedule and to fit it into what you needed to do, and it was just too much. So I kind of just stopped cutting, and
we definitely had a broken marriage at that time.
Yeah,
it's like we were still together.
We were separated, yeah,
but we definitely had issues.
Yeah. He didn't talk to me for a while. I mean, I messaged him. I was like, I think right. Did I message you and tell you I was like coming back, or how did that happen? How did we connect again?
I think you did. You messaged me. I think you just texted me and said like,
I'll be back at the shop.
Yeah.
It's because I went back to that same shop.
Because now that I think about it, I thought you were my only barber in Pueblo. But that little 6 months hiatus, I actually went to somebody related to you, and it wasn't great. You know what I mean? It wasn't, it wasn't great. It just it wasn't sharp. You know what I mean? So, but it's something I had to deal with. Obviously, just being here. But when you see, I think I was pissed at that too. Like you got me out here getting these.
I got you double pissed.
Weak ass cuts. You act like you want to be a car salesman. And but when you text me, I'll be honest, it's like, that pretty girl texting you say, hey, do you want to go back out again? I sure do. I sure do. I can't wait. Can't wait.
He's like, when's the date?
But I think I still shitted on you for like a month or two while you were
I think it was like a month or two ago you stopped. You finally gave me the like almost don't need to look at the mirror pass.
No, you'll never break my heart like that again. You might get me once, but not twice. So
I think I'm vested in this now. I think at that point in my life I wasn't quite sure. Like we were talking about when I got my license, I got it with my grandma. And it was something that I wanted to do because I'd gotten some trouble, and I was like, man, I might not be able to do anything other than maybe cut hair at the time, because I couldn't get a sales license, like a car salesman's license. And so my uncle had hit me up. Actually, we were talking about my uncle earlier, And he was a car salesman, and I used to work with him before I started cutting hair. And he was like, "Hey man, you want to come back and make some money cutting hair?" And I was good, I think, at cutting at selling cars. I did relatively well, and that's primarily why I took off. But I feel like the grind of the unsureness of people who purchasing vehicles, like if you're going to purchase a vehicle from someone, I'm going to tell you right now, if anybody's listening to this and you go buy a car from someone.
He was still trying to, I just bought a new car. He's still trying to give me advice. Like, cut it. You're a barber now.
Yeah. He's like, I already bought it, bro. I'm like, okay. I wasn't getting the comp from it.
Shut up. Let me enjoy
he's
my
like,
shit.
can I enjoy my, and to let these people know, what'd you pick up?
Raptor. The best vehicle on the face of the earth.
Tell me that thing isn't lovely, right? It looks.
No, it might have you beat. I might take it.
That truck looks like it bench presses 1,000 pounds. I mean,
and runs a 4.4 at the same time. It's
wallet bench presses.
And I'm not even a car guy. I never have been. Never really cared about what I drove.
Yeah.
But this one is.
I mean, you had the Tahoe for what, years, right?
14 years.
Lovely.
Suburban 14.
Lovely. It was just it was like that pillow you don't want to get rid of, but
it was my first NFL it was my first big purchase ever.
That was the one?
Mm-hmm.
That's what did you go pay cash, or were you like
straight cash?
You were like, I'm doing it. I'm
straight,
dropping
Randy Moss, straight cash on me.
He did it. That's what's up. So again, when you buy a car, this is why I got out of it and I went back to cutting hair, is talking to people for like 2-3 hours about whatever they want to do, and then they just decide like,
nah, I'm good.
I don't really want to buy a car right now. And I'm like, are you serious? You just wasted 3 hours of my life. I know you can buy a car. I know you want to get a car. Maybe you didn't like me. Maybe you didn't like the car. I don't know what's going on. But
all
like
the paperwork.
But that shit should come out in the first 10 minutes. Like, you know what? I'm not digging this, or I don't like the cars you have. Like, don't we?
I gotta be honest with you. I'm like, if your product's good, I am the best consumer.
Oh,
be honest. Like.
If it's good, I'm going back.
From a haircut to a truck, and I didn't think I would spend this much money on a truck because it is a pandemic going on. But once I got in it, it sold itself.
It's like a glove.
Yeah,
just, it felt right.
Like yourself, Ringstart. Like, nah, I'm paying. Like, I'm a great consumer. But the product has to be good. Mm-hmm. That's where things fall off the wheels a little bit. I need that product to be good.
Yeah, I feel like I try to instill that with our barbershop. I feel like, because customers are everything, you know.
No, listen, like Derek's so good. Like, this is, and I do a lot of traveling. But locally, I can probably tell you there's been at least in the last, let's say 2-3 years, even my mother-in-law. I'll be in a barbershop, I'll be in a supermarket, and some random old lady will come up to me and just like, your beard is just so sharp. How did they make it so sharp? It's so symmetrical. It's like at least 50 times.
So I remember this. Didn't you message me and it was like 9 at night or something? You were just like, this random lady came up to me and was just like,
she was like 70.
Yeah. And for her to come up to, again, you're not a very small man.
Yeah.
To go up to you and then talk about your beard, like, didn't know you, right? Like, this lady just came out of nowhere.
Came out. Side note, it is random. I'm gonna go off on a tangent a little bit because it's just hitting my mind. You would be shocked of the people who do approach me. Like, a lot of older people, just no fear. Like, some people that are fearful, like homeless people, they see me walk a mile. Like, I give money away all the time. Yeah. Like, all the time. Yeah. But it's like, don't you think I'm scary? Or don't you think, but it's like the most oddest random thing. Like, homeless people hit me, like, they see my big ass coming and like, I'm just gonna walk up on you, behind you, and ask you for money. And every time I'm like, here you go. But it's like,
let me ask you one question about that. I wonder, so you said it's mostly old people that go up to you, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get these like down and out homeless people there in a situation. Is it that they've experienced so much shit that at this point in their life, they're like, I just don't give a shit. I got like an old guy that's been around, maybe he was in the war, 2 wars.
No, I feel it.
And he sees you and he's just like, man, I was at war, bro. I'm going to ask you about your beard. And then same thing with a homeless guy. This guy's probably slept in
but it's
10-degree weather.
No, it's never been a man. It's always been an older lady.
Really?
Always. No man has ever said like.
So isn't that interesting that it would be like a barber or a man question, right? Like your beard.
Yeah.
It's very interesting
No,
that a woman.
That means holy shit. That thing is sharp. Because
I guess
if an older woman tells you your beard, is nice, randomly in public, that means that shit is nice.
Does it give you a little juice for the day, like a little bit?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I walk around with a lot of confidence, but it's like I'm not like Incredible Hulk Teddy Bear, so it humbles me for sure. Mm-hmm. But I know that shit sharp. You know what I'm saying? That's why I come into your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you just go with it. You're like, thank you. I know.
Nah, yeah. I'll give a lady a hug or something like that. I'm truth be told, I promise. Like, I really am a gentle soul. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I think people. I honestly think people don't understand that. Like getting to know you over. I mean, we're going 10, 11 years now, man.
Yeah.
I think people don't know you. I don't think people like. You're very to yourself, I feel like, to your family, to yourself. When you need to be out there, when you need to be out there, but I feel like there's certain things that you are about yourself. Like you keep to yourself is what I mean. Like, so when me and you talk at the shop, there's conversations we have.
I think it's just hard. Honestly, I just think it's hard being a person of my size, being a person of my color in a predominantly Mexican and white community, playing for the Denver Broncos. I walk around with a ton of confidence. I do a lot of things outside of the box.
Yeah.
But I'm aware. I'm a self-aware person, and that comes with the territory. And I think, I don't really play the Bronco card a lot. Like that was like, my last year was 12. That was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And, I'm on that. And that's something that I purposely don't allow to define me as a person.
I own it, like as your friend and as your barber, I think your name now has surpassed that. Like you yourself have surpassed anything that you've done before you, like the NFL and the Broncos and other teams. Like you are now Antwon Burton. You are not a player of the Broncos that I'm talking to. It's like you are Antwon Burton. That's who I'm bringing on my show. That's who you are now.
And I appreciate that. And those are the things that, honestly, they truly, like I'm humbled by that. Like, my heart melts for things like that because it's
think of Kobe. What'd you think of right now? Like Kobe, what do you think of? Lakers,
killer. Truth be told,
yeah. But I mean, like that's it's like.
And I'm not gonna put myself in Kobe's category for shit show, but
no, I didn't mean the category. I just meant like it's just like a representation, Like
no, I'm just
now you're your own. You're doing you.
I just don't. I never wanted it to define me. Because I always thought I was a pretty, smart person, a good person, whether I put on a helmet or not.
It's just a part of your journey,
more
or less than anything.
Yeah, it was a platform that, and it was an opportunity that I made the most out of, and I was retired at 29 years old. I started when I was 22, and I was retired at 29. Yeah. Now, will I use those networks and relationships, and every now and again use that to my benefit? That'd be dumb not to, but I want to be able to have a ground of work that allows me to be perceived outside of what that is.
Yeah, stand alone on your own. It's not be like I'm only talking to you because of what you but what you are.
Because when you walk around with confidence, I think some people think you walk around with that confidence because you played in the NFL. I was second grade. It started.
You're like, I was walking around like that, holding the lunch meal.
Yeah. I was telling Trev my business development the other day. Mm-hmm. My mom tells this story all the time. She had like a teacher conference for fourth grade, and I was a pretty smart kid. It was A's, B's, 90s, 100s, and the teacher told my mom, he's a great kid. He gets good grades. He gives great dialogue in class, but he has a superior attitude. My fourth grade teacher. So
a superior attitude.
Fourth grade.
You just at that point you just knew like you had to make that.
No, I don't know what that was, but I don't know. Just I wanna like walk in my greatness.
Yeah. I mean, you're not content. I can see it in your eye. You're not content at all.
And I'm unafraid to be that, walk in that. But I want to say the thing that makes me a little different. I'm not a complete killer. I want the people around me to be great too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's so great when you have a circle that, even if it's like 4 or 5 people, but you guys are just like massively rowing that boat in that same direction, and just success is just pouring over, you know.
Love is a very strong thing. Love is a very strong thing. And I always say, like, love someone today, learn how to, but the hardest part is like receiving love. That's a hard thing, man.
It is. It's definitely something. I mean, we've had conversations at the shop, man, where I've just like even now, like this opportunity that's going on now, I feel like I'm in the wrong spot.
But this is something. No,
you know, I'm just like, this is love. Like,
but this is when you put. This is how things come into fruition. It's so funny. We actually talked about having shop talk like a year or 2 ago. It'd be great, man. What do you think, man? We'll come in the barbershop. We'll have a podcast, and we'll have some of our clients come in, and me and Derek have had multiple conversations about business opportunities and just visionary and having visions. But it's not, we live in a world where we want that thing tomorrow. And one thing I think, Derek, you can agree to this. A lot of our conversations, like, like, be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient.
Mm-hmm.
But you never went left or gave up on what you wanted to do, and it might not happen the way you wanted it to happen, when you wanted it to happen,
Mm-hmm.
but we're like living in it right now. Me and you talking in this Wake Up Pueblo building that Matt Smith and Grant Cardone came together to build this thing in Pueblo.
Wild.
It's, you know what I mean? Wild things happen to me all the time. I'm to the point I don't get shocked anymore.
I'm fucking shocked. I don't care what you say, but I'm shocked. Like,
but that's like walking in your greatness. And this is just, it's not about the short thing. It's not even, Grant might think otherwise. It's not about the money. It's about the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, what do you want to make out of the opportunity? So that's why I'm sitting here today. I feel like it's opportunity. Being one of your clients, I feel like that's opportunity. Yeah. And being a part of like Wake Up Pueblo on this podcast is opportunity, not only for myself, for you, but the community we live in. So I think, that's kind of what walking your greatness means.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to walk in it even when you think there's things going on beside you, there's a speed bump, but you got to like keep walking in that thing.
Sometimes you just, as scary as it feels, like this was scary for me. Like this, like, I don't know if it's scary, but like butterflies, I guess, in my stomach. But you almost kind of just got to grab the bull by the horns, like I was telling a couple of customers who own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, you got to come down. You got to come talk to these people and let them help you just explode your business. Like, this is going to be huge for Pueblo.
Mm-hmm.
And, they're like, yeah, I dig it. And I'm going to have a couple of them on too. And I just think when you have an opportunity, it's like hard work and luck, I think, conjoined. Like, you worked very hard, not so much luck, you know what I mean? Like, you were talented. I feel like I worked hard. I did a lot of cuts and, maybe a little bit of luck. I don't know. But
no, I'll tell you what it is. I don't mean to put you on the couch right now.
Okay. Like therapy couch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just giving you insight to yourself on your show. You dream big.
Yeah, I do.
You weren't, your big ass wasn't afraid to jump up and, reach something bigger than yourself, or something that you might not, man, I can't reach it right now, but eventually I'll get there and I'll touch it and I'll be able to grab it and pull it down. And to consistently have that within you is opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that. I you know what it is? I got in that accident, that motorcycle accident.
I do remember that.
You remember that? And then
big ass doing on a motorcycle anyway.
Especially a crotch rocket. It wasn't even, I'm not a very small person either. I mean, obviously, I don't know if people can see, obviously, but, I'm not a small person either. But a crotch rocket, and I went down, and it opened my eyes to, like, what was I going to leave my family?
Yeah.
I was just, like, not just a barber. Like, it's a big thing. But, like, I wasn't in a position to where I could leave something that would take care of my family, And I feel like that amped me a little bit. Like, man, I gotta get it going. You know, I gotta get a shop like really going and something. You know, just so it could take care of my family. But you know, not but because we had that conversation about what but meant. But anyway,
Pause.
So, I had another question too for you.
Shoot, I'm ready.
What does a shop mean to you in aspects? Like, what is not particularly my barbershop, but like growing up, where you came from, like, what does the barbershop mean to you? Is it, you know, is the barbershop everything? I mean, you learn stuff there, you see stuff there.
The barbershop is like a smaller version of a cultural hub in comparison to an airplane, because when you get on an airplane, you're sitting around people from all over the world, all over the country. You have conversations, you meet people that you wouldn't normally meet. But the one cool thing about like a barbershop, A, you're leaving looking sharp, and B, you're receiving culture, local culture. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, I came in the other day, I seen 4 or 5 people that I haven't seen in a while. The conversations that you have, and then to be able to have different walks of life. You had moms in there, you had myself, you had white, you had black, you had Mexican. I think it's almost like a forced cultural melting pot that is the best version of that particular setting. Because when you go on an airplane, you kind of like hate everybody. Like, don't get too close. Don't touch me. I don't give a shit where you going.
Don't touch my armrest.
Yeah. But, you know, don't lean on me. But it's like you're forced to be in there. Like, you ain't going nowhere. You there. But the barbershop is like kind of forced, but it's like there's more room to have dialogue and growth while you're being serviced as far as your hair is concerned. That makes sense? Or did I go too deep?
I mean, it's whatever you feel that it is, man. That's.
Did I go too deep? You got to.
I feel like that's what it means to you. That's the point, is what's the barbershop mean to you? So that's what it means to you, you know? I mean, it's definitely, I see the melting pot. Like, I almost feel like if the world were more like barbershops, I think it would be a better place. Like, people just go there and chill, man. They shoot the shit. They joke. They laugh with each other.
There is
that's left at the door,
now,
man.
I'm about to... When you go on a plane, you feel that tension of cultural differences.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, there ain't no little bit.
You feel it?
When you go into a barbershop, you don't feel those same walls.